Alright, I'm gonna go for a spin on the Tmax. Oh yeah, we're riding the Yamaha Tmax. Very nice. I have to be careful about riding it around corners, so I haven't done a lot of riding on it, and the brakes on it are not too good either. Man, it feels so good to ride this bike after so much work. This is like just pure yum. You know, there's nothing like taking a bike, fixing it up, and then going for that first ride. It feels so good. So much work I put into this bike. And this is not like the Honda Silverwing. The Silverwing had this very lounge back, relaxed position. This one feels much more natural to me, for my body. Nice. There's a couple of things that I messed up. I have no idea where I placed that bracket for the windscreen, but today is unusually... Oh, this has got a kick. This has got a little kick. You know, I really miss riding scooters. I haven't had the scooter since the Silverwing that I traded from the Honda ST1300, but I think the sweet spot for me is like 100 cc's to 200 cc's for scooters, maybe up to 250. I don't know. This one is a 500. So here's the beauty of this. You guys seen the engine on this. It is like slanted almost horizontally. The gas tank, I'm sitting right on top of it. The weight on this bike feels much lower than most other motorcycles, including the Goldwing. The Goldwing is one of those bikes that, you know, they made it with the engine and everything so low to the ground that it feels like you're riding a much lighter bike, even though it's a heavy pig. There's so much to be said about the beauty of having a maxi scooter. First of all, it's the stealthiness of it. Nobody knows how fast they are. They don't know how comfortable they are. You have so much more positions for your legs. I mean, if I wanted to ride like a cruiser, I put it here, and it feels really nice. And you're always with an automatic transmission, so you just twist and go. CVT, of course. And this is a Yamaha, so it's reliable. It's not a Chinese scooter. Now, I'm not going to go heavily into corners because my rear tire, I need to order a new one. But this thing does feel much sportier than the Silverwing. And the Tmax was known to be a sporty scooter. That's why it's so popular. That's why the resale is so high. You took a scooter and they made it fun. It gave you a small engine, 500 cc's, which is big for scooters but not for motorcycles, and they made it a all-around package, so you can just still have fun in the corners and still commute on it every day. And of course, Yamaha reliability. That's why this scooter just has a lot of value. Eventually, when I get my rear tire, I should be going to corners a little bit smoother. And also, you let go of the throttle and it's got quite a bit of engine braking. This thing almost feels like it can wheelie over these speed bumps. I don't know if the previous owner did any modifications on this bike, but it feels like it's more powerful. It's running. It's running. It's so quiet, so smooth. I mean, just looking around, I have to clean it up because of all the work that I did on it. I have the windscreen that I have to work on it, and I'm going to try and get rid of all this plastic stuff that's destroyed. It looks like it just, somebody put a chemical on it and it got those stripes on there. Running light works great. Exhaust looks awesome on this bike. It rides really well. It's got more power than the Silverwing, and the Silverwing was a 600. It idles really well. I'm going to turn it off so you can see it. I mean, let me give you the current view of it. So the seat needs to be reworked. I do have the fabric for it. It looks like the foam, I need to reshape the foam, but I don't want to lose the seat's look. I don't have this texture for the seat, so we're gonna have to figure out another thing. You know, I had the Kymco Exciting 500, the Silverwing, you know, and then smaller scooters. This feels a whole lot more sportier than the Silverwing and the Kymco Exciting. Of course, look at this, these front brakes. These are like Yamaha R1 style brakes. They're really good. Even on this bike, it stops really well. I do have to look at the brake pads. And this is on here because the person that had it before put on these lips that keep the wind from you. So I do have that, and I plan on putting those back. I just got to get the adhesive. And I mean, yeah, it looks great. And the seating position on this is a whole lot more sportier. It's more upright. Your legs are 90 degrees, so the way you would sit in a chair. The Silverwing, Kymco Excited, you would, even when you had your legs in a 90-degree angle, your knee was actually higher. So that made it more uncomfortable, less sporty. This one does feel like you can go around corners. It feels like a sport bike. And you still have the option of putting your feet up like this. But most of the time I keep them down there. The exhaust on this is really large. And rear wheel, 15s all around. So here's, I don't know if you guys can tell, but look at that, it's all cracked up. That's why I'm not going to go too far today on this maiden voyage. And the brakes, I still haven't gotten around to changing the belts and the oil on the rear, but I will be doing that when I get back. You have these passenger foot pegs integrated. It's nice that you can kind of just hide them. And the Silverwing, it was a little disappointed they didn't integrate things a little bit nicer. And my big gripe about the Silverwing's mirrors is that they look like these. On this one it suits it fine, but when you're paying extra for a luxury scooter like the Silverwing, you want those mirrors to be a little bit nicer. You know, there's a lot to be said about maxi scooters. I think these do not get enough props. They're really good. And look at this, you have convenient pockets for you to store stuff. These are not lockable, by the way. Some bikes are lockable, and that's always a good thing. And yeah, first ride on the Yamaha Tmax. This was a nightmare project. I had to tear it down twice. And imagine this, when I got the bike, it started. You know, it was very difficult with the keys to start, but it did start. And then I put it all together. I was like, oh man, what could it be? And it turns out it was the fuel pump. So the fuel pump on these Yamaha Tmaxes are notoriously known to go bad. And if you buy a fuel pump from, you know, the microfiche and from the manufacturer, you don't get a 500 pump in there anymore. You get the 530. It's been updated. I believe it was a recall. So you want the 530 pump, not the one that comes with this bike, because it always goes bad. Pretty much it. That's the ride, the first ride on the Yamaha Tmax. This is my second Tmax, and it feels really good. Feels really good to ride a scooter. I am happy to be back on a scooter. You know, it feels like you it's just so different riding one. Everybody's got motorcycles. This thing is just so much more convenient. The way you get on it, you move it around. The weight on this, I cannot stress enough. The center of gravity on these scooters is so much lower. You can be a completely new rider, and even though this bike is heavy, it feels much lower because, I mean, the engine is like right there, so low to the ground. The fuel tank is low, everything is low, frame is low, so it makes things much easier to handle. I mean, and just climbing on the bike is easier. Also tour on a maxi scooter. Well guys, that is the end of the video today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe. Hey, I have to adjust my idle. And I'll see you in the next video. Look at this guy. Hey, you.